Okay. Still just sticking with the danger playlist for now. I know it's probably in the danger zone to get repetitive if it hasn't already, but being on YouTube creates extra concerns that we didn't normally have. So we'll see. Playing it safe for now. I mean, a lot of League stuff is creator safe, so I figured that was not dangerous to splash, but past that. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. It really seemed like all things were pointing towards the meta being cheese, but I don't know. It was tiltier than I should have been last time. Like on some level, if this is just how it's gonna go for the next couple months, there's not much I can do to change it. We just look for opportunities to try to make it interesting. To some degree, that's not really possible when your opponent just holds a bunch of teams. But at the very least, I can focus on my own performance. Maybe look for some interesting counters to try. I don't really have too much in the chamber for 3v3, more so than 5v5. But at the very least, I need to get better at this whole process. Because I can remember at least like 4 or 5 times where opponent posted a good banner line. I would have a drop or two and just like, okay, you know, if 2 drops is -40, and someone posts like a very high banner line on you, you would assume it's doomed. And then I would like finish a clear and just realize like, yo, it somehow, despite everything, was extremely close anyway. So yeah, I figure it would be good to curb that phenomenon and just try to focus on doing it proper. Banner math isn't real, dude. Like it's fairly simple math. It's 260 times 3. You add the +10. You do 57 times 15. You do 438 for the zone. I thought that was just it, but yet it keeps on not adding up. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong exactly. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, we see literally 0 Galactic Legends. That does not necessarily mean that we won't see any. But I mean, you would think it certainly fits the wind blowing a certain way. Looks like they posted Starkiller. Okay. I guess we could see that. There's nothing here, right? We got DR, BSF, plus, who's he, what's it? Savage. Probably the scariest team that we see right now. This too. This was like kind of a mess last time, right? 102% health, Saw Guerrera. Health is technically less scary than defense for a Qui-Gon. But again, like, if today is a cheese day, I mean, this is why I ultimately hate cheese metas and why I played in the direction that I originally played in to begin with, is because if it's cheese, then suddenly we just have to gamble and guess. What should I have overkilled front wall versus what might be waiting back wall? And that just gives the opponent all the leverage. That's why I absolutely despise these metas, because it's just a guessing game. There's so much less skill. You could try to read to some degree, but like, I mean, unless you ghost someone, you're just not gonna know, which is why so many people ghosted this game in the first place. So I feel like Padme can maybe take this, but I also, it almost feels like you would need a very specific mod set. I feel like you would need to be faster, like significantly faster. How are they built? Okay, heavy on dense or defense, some protection. Alright, basically I have no experience in this whole sector, because this is essentially just, we're dialing in on team cost. Okay, it's more so built for health, so that would certainly negate the protection chron. That score. So softmax is 2080. It's 2081, I think, 2083, something like that. So technically 2031, if they truly just held everything, gives me a pretty decent start here if we can play clean. That's just a pretty fat if. All right, what do we even have? It's more than I'm used to. I guess one of the questions we'll have to ask today is if it's not going to be Sith Eternal here, if it has to be Sith Eternal against Starkiller, then what do we want here? I am here posting it. Are you posting with tenacity? Thank you for the 7 months. Honestly, I'm not brave enough to post it. I do feel like there is a lot of exploitability there, but that's up to your opponent to have to know, right? So if your opponent does not know, they lack the critical information. But 5 holds makes sense in that context. I don't even know what to do here, man. I appreciate the bits, Canada. Yes, tenacity. Okay. Yeah, Bad Batch is exactly what I had in mind. I feel like Bad Batch, you play them perfectly, you can just absolutely dismantle them. Past that, I know less. I know a lot less. I mean, you look for anything resistible. I think the other big key thing is you just kind of, you pick one, you disable them, and you just kind of prey on them. But I guess the one cardinal factor there, right, is PS Reactive Terminator. If he just gets to a turn where he fires a basic off and you don't have them crowd controlled, that done. You lose a character. Alright, I need to shut up and do a little bit of movement here. Where to use Maul is also just a question I don't have an answer to. I don't know, man. Am I just using a GL here? Like, we have to hold SOK for Leia. C and Jamel don't really have set jobs at the moment. So we tried Cal last time and we got Infinite Terminator trained to death because of the Retribution. We could try a run back with just Cal plus Hermit, but that's a little bit spooky. It would be some of the chance for the highest banners. Bastila will counterattack, so like Bastila Leader or something is out of range. The problem is they're still going to get some amount of Terminator for Cal counterattacks with Retribution. There's also just a very real chance that we're actually going to feel better if we just don't go into Staff Stance. It depends on so much here. This is so hard to say. Hello, Cal, trust him. Okay, like, if we're just trying to gather information, we're going to... I suspect we're going to keep fighting this team in the future. If we drop this, it doesn't necessarily push us to losing, but it's gonna hurt hard. And also we have a Malgus Malik to fight. We would have to be in more like the bounty hunter territory. And against Malik with Dadbod, that is a much more difficult task. Right? We would be looking very specifically only for the windows where Talon is out of stealth. And that sucks hard. I don't know, man. I mean, light side wise, we're talking, and this is light side, but it's not buffs. No, we're going for a right. Yeah, it's just keep going down. Like, I feel like Deathmark is also just such a huge concern here. Like, if we really did go this route, and we got the 50% defense, the 50% counter chance. I mean, we're going to be countering anyway, but it also means that being in staff or repeating dual wields, both are going to do pretty much nothing for us. I don't know if this works. I don't know if we have it like that. How are we modded? Health? Yes. There's some bulk there. And there's truly no other Jedi we could draft that won't just feed them Terminator, right? There's not. Maybe you have a conversation about like, well, if you just, you know, old Ben, reactive Terminator. What are people using? People are like 50% win rate with Bastila, not surprising. Ban, DR, Malgus, Treya. How do 2% with 62% win rate? I definitely wouldn't trust them here. That's got to be just against weaker teams, right? There's no way. Bastila GK Mace, Bastila GK Cal actually showing up with 1% at 100. Man, maybe. I can feel the Terminator train happening to me already. Nah, but this is data from last season with Datacron. Nah. Nope. Absolutely not. That's what you get failed for you versus DR. I mean, the CD would definitely suck there, but I think it's just the overall dynamics, right? And if anything, Mace basic attack deals damage twice. That's even more Terminator's offensive odds to the rest of the team. You just get looped. I don't know, man. I'm not calling this a science day, but at some point we're not gonna know until we just fucking find out, right? If this worked, that would be cool, but I guess the side question would become, what are we killing Malgus Malik with? I feel like JKL could do that. Can you do it without Cal, though? Here is JKL winning with Hermit Yoda and Mace, but that is a Hermit Yoda there. Oof. Wait. Shut. I said it last time. I forgot it last time. Get your ass in here. Okay, what's the dynamic here? Tank tech. Not necessarily bringing it home for us. This has to just be regen, right? Do we even need Hermit Yoda? Like, what do you even do? Does Cal have any verbiage? Alright, it's been like 8 minutes. All allies. I mean, all allies get advantage, yes. All allies gain protection up, yes. Nah. This character's good. They built him to be useful. He's not factional. Just Cal solo? Nah, it's Watt, I think. Watt belongs here. Am I seeing the Malgus? No, I'm probably going to use C against Starkiller up top. See, if we can pull this off, then we just do JKL Hermit Yoda Mace against Malgus. I think that should be just fine. Alright, if we're just out here... Who else? Let's chat. Yeah? Maybe? L3 does have counterattacks if we upgrade her, so we need to be careful in that respect, but like... There's no, like, Watt, Sep, revive angle, right? Like, Geo Brute revive, so that's especially undesirable. Separate tanks do be counterattacking. Not a fan. I think we just go here. I think this is fun. And Sorter or L3 is the only tank our only scoundrel, so she'd only cleanse herself. She is on health, though. That's... I mean, there's no Malik here to, like, fully punish that. She's definitely on just, like, filler trash, but... whatever. L3 affords us certain luxuries. I'm sending it. Yes. I don't know, man. Yeah, go assist. Go get him. Biggest concern here is because she's on health modding. We really don't want to fuck around with Deathmark if we don't have to. Again, we also really don't want to be counterattacking, so we just have to stick on basic. Yeah, basic is fine. Okay, we need to get the hell back over. So if we pass to L3, does she get the turn meter even if she can't assist? Target Jedi ally gains a bonus turn. No fun allowed. Eh, sure. There's a death mark. That's double counterattack. Alright, we're dead. Man! I feel like if she's modded for protection, that's fine. We were very, very close to nuke. As it'll have to take a second for airplane mode to register. Alright, week 2 remod notes. This is what? 12.12? Yeah, that'll be 12.12. L3, full protection, defense, pass. Is it just not gonna... him? Alright. L3 killed me. Well, that's what I was saying about the... all that health modding was completely trash. Because effectively, she can only tank for half of the modding that the health added, or the health of the modding added. Because the moment that she drops under 50%, that Cal is just... Cal would have to line up a perfect turn, like, shortly after Deathmark got added. And the fact that we were back on Retribution was equally undesirable. I don't know, man. I mean, things clearly got nasty the moment that we got into dual stance. The question is, like... I mean, what? We go 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 to 30? That's such a big ask. It's 6 turns to nuke instead of 4? Can't sortie tank enough to not trigger Deathmark. I guess it depends on how often you're getting shocked to prevent stealth from happening. But also sortie, all they have to do is shock her and she won't get reactive shielding anyway. Right. So you're still under a good amount of pressure. Also, L3 speed. Right? Because she's not getting reactive turn meter from other people getting hit. You want that extra speed to cash in that watt protection tech. We want her to be a more active participant. Although I guess L3 taking turns does technically feed them turn meter. I think it's still a healthy. Right? If she's on full protection modding and you get 40% protection back, you're happy. All right, let's go here. Let's find that here. Okay. What's up, Kathy? I should do it better than I was the. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. Huh? Fucking record scratch. I mean, if it's Ben lead, sure. Is it just like 2% Malgus? There's no way. Okay, sure, man. What do you say? No, what I was gonna say is I'm kind of just gonna change my general relationship to the game that I think. What I mean by that, because I know that's very vague, it could mean many things. I started playing this game and like started doing streaming and content for very specific reasons, and I feel like I've strayed away from that a lot recently. And it just kind of led to me being less happy in general in a lot of cases. So like, honestly, like, is some of the stuff that I'm gonna try today, for example, like potentially gonna lead to a loss? Yeah, it's definitely possible. Is this going to lead to more interesting matches in the future now that we can try possibly like unique or different approaches that possibly get us ahead? I think so. I'm not out here like trying to lose. The core goal will always be to play to win, but we're finding the fun, especially in a season like this. That being said, though, it's not actually that crazy tanky of a Crown, so like, I think we just need to pressure out more. All right, there's the auto fear. Definitely a decent chance I was supposed to just basic there. All right, JKL basic is our real kill tool. I really want to use that. I'm going to greed a little bit here. Let's try to grab lethal real quick. Yeah, okay. Delaying bulk reduction by 1 turn, not going to kill us. Time, definitely possibly going to kill us. Now it's time for the quintessential question of, is Mace actually worth the slot here for bulk reductions, or does his passive debuffing... Okay, I think we're fine. I think that question... Okay, okay. Duly noted. I mean, so dynamic I mentioned earlier, if it's a guessing game of what's backwall, then on some level we are still kind of obligated to try to off-meta here, just to hold options, as long as the off-meta isn't too costly. And what, Qui-Gon here, ideally, we're talking like a -3. I still think that this is just a coin flip, personally. Alright, we do not have good crown options. And this, I guess, and we're just cutting out the middleman. We are definitely dark side heavy in the crowns that we have. I really don't want to cheap out on this, but I really don't... I mean, I'm only really hesitating because this has, like, dark side text alongside it that would make this card even better. What team would we care about it for? That's the real question. No. Technically, yes, but it's more so just dark side buffs, and we should have another. That's okay. We're probably going to be on Ufu defense against Leia. Star Killer, I guess we would miss it on. Mostly just Star Killer, I guess. Maybe Geos in some spots. Let's try this. Yep. And then they pop it on him. Yep. And then we find out who Rex stuns. Well, fortunately, Anakin didn't get his temperature reduced, so we don't have a stun risk before we get to pass the AoE, but now we win. Just kidding. Alright, 102% health is enough to stop it. Good to know. We lose. Yeah, blind. Nothing to play for. I feel like CLS might be interesting, but also Tenacity down would just instantly disarm CLS. I don't really have a plan for Afra, and Qui-Gon was usually the only cheap way that you could kill this team. With 102% health, though, I truly don't know. Some curse shit. Wasn't Starkiller kind of able to scrap it out here? Honestly, I don't really view... Oh, I guess there is some RNG, right? There was some RNG on whether Anakin gains Terminator or not. For the most part, it is deterministic, though, right? Like, you can determine whether someone's going to be over or under 50. I'm just really excited for Set 11 to 9. It is the... I've used Set 11 as worse than Set 4, the dodge set meta, as being, like, just horrifically pay to win and kind of ruining the GAC experience. Like, I know people are bummed out that Set 12 stats are underwhelming, but for where I'm at with the game right now, I would infinitely rather be underwhelmed than right, like, it's like, oh, I already spent an amount that I'm not going to spend again on Datacrons. Like, whoa, I should have spent more. I guess that's a takeaway. Whoopsie, I have some light side Datacrons that aren't stat ruled and have light side buffs. That's the dynamic. Alright, I'm just... What was I eyeballing here? Kind of curious on Star Killer. Like, if there's Rey in the back wall or something, I don't have a good Star Killer cron to beat Rey anyway. Why'd I hit the home button? What would the angle be? I mean, there is a world in which Maul beats Rey. Actually, I kind of hope they did post Rey. You know what? Screw it. Again, finding the fun. This interests me. That something interesting me shouldn't be ruled out just because. You know, clutch pearls over banners or whatever the hell. This is interesting. I want to be interested. No troopers into DR. I'm assuming that requires spending more money on a trooper crowd that I know that I don't have. I'm good. UFO defense would be awfully good here, but that's the SLK Akron. Let's put this in context. Okay, so I have exactly one UFO defense cron. Okay, so we can try riposte. I don't think riposte is really going to do much here. Like, I would imagine Savage is going to die via either Starkiller ult or Starkiller AoE, exploding the buffs, but they were doing it pre-Trooper Cron existence. I mean, I saw it in the data. It makes zero sense to me. Like, we truly expect troopers to walk into 200% defense. And Savage reactive healing and Dark Trooper having like a 4-hit basic. I don't really see it personally. Also, this foresight causes some issues. So why did Mara go back to full? Oh, because of the auto cleanse, I guess? But that still wouldn't really explain enough. This is a very weird dynamic. Well, we get that, which is certainly nice. Dagger won't do anything here, right? But we still... we don't exactly get to kill her, I guess. Like, this positioning on Savage is so good. I really don't even want to use AoE. I think I just want this. I mean, they shredded their defense. We don't have shock on EP. That's a little bit fortunate. No vulnerable here either. He is in trouble. Now it's just a question of timeout. I mean, we have Freight Toss, so it's very unlikely that we will. I think we do this first. I guess might as well. I don't want to feed him too much Terminator, but if we can hit the stagger, never mind. We really wanted to land that shock. We need to be careful because Starkiller is not going to get that many turns. Yep, fat AoE nuke. Not enough to kill him. Alright, I think we just time out then. Is there really left to go on this? I don't understand how she's cycling full. She should be like, what, 60% from debuffs plus a little bit extra? See, we don't even want to crate toss when he's this high a turn meter, but like we don't have a choice. Lethal? Okay, wow, somehow. Barely. This is a protection modded Savage. No, it's mostly health, but he has like a 35% protection cron. So a bit of both. Rex is going to lap AoE so much faster than a lot of teams can cleanse. Probably why this team is so problematic. I don't know, man. I just want to get to backroll. Sure. Technically, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, we're running out of protection crowns. We should draft a Clintz and not a Julie. Maybe annoying if we need to Padme something. Don't really have a better option. There you go. There would be a use case for Kellen. Not untrue. Yeah, I'm sure. Whatever. This is 100% just this, right? Kinda has to be. I guess slight missed opportunity not using Splash for the speed up, but it would have gotten this build anyway, so kinda who cares? Somehow, by getting cooldown increased, he just decided that he didn't want to get cooldown increased anyway. It's because of the buff loss, right? I guess Saw uses AoE, Saw dispels buffs. Buffs return. His cooldown goes down. Alright, I'm just gonna kill you now. Hope you're cool with that. Actually, wait, can Jamal even kill through Rex Unique? That would need like the full 100% protection cron, wouldn't it? They might actually just have so much health on the cron that we can't actually do anything to them.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Alright. Yeah. I think I passed the point of caring. I can see after losing still, too. It really depends on how far this cooldown mechanic stretches. But screw it. Like, Afro without the extra droids in 3-3 is so much more exposed, I feel like. I mean, what? We can 2-turn Torture. Like, we don't even get a second cooldown increase off. I'm pretty sure Afro could just pretty easy. Did we just SLK then? Trying to think. Is it the Eternal ever smarter here? We could maybe just... Because we get an option select, right? If we see Leia rear, then we would have SLK for Leia. If we don't see Leia, then we just SLK versus Starkiller. Should be fine. C means I have something for Leia. I don't know if that's true. I guess I haven't tried. I don't think C beats Leia. First time catching me live, how goes it? The normal counters are failing because they have God Crowns. That's how it's going. I'm excited for set 11 to expire. That's how it's going. It's fine. Depending on what's backwall, there might still be some interesting fights we can get. Doc would be nice to stop protection up. Doc would be nice again to keep it going. Don't really have any defense crons to, like, do that usual shtick. A and D. How... What are we talking here? 100% crit damage, 110 with light side buffs. I think, like, maybe CLS could try to be interesting here. And if we stun Anakin, we can get a fairly free pass on Qui-Gon. But, like... When we talk light side, 99% defense. It is Rebel DR, though. Maybe. Being above 50% DR on the big hits is a little bit of a big ass, though. Only 6 more GAC weeks instead of 11. We're closer to 5 at this point, right? Then... And then... Bit annoying, but I think we can manage. Okay, bomb mostly diffused. Just be nice to finish with full CLS banners. It'll be nice if you just chilled. We'll be done. Okay.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
I don't know if that applies today. but I appreciate it. What the hell? I'm assuming it's got to reset. Yep. So what, this is just like a double handcuff comp or something? It used to run 316 Han. I have a strong suspicion that is no longer the case. I wouldn't be surprised if I see like 290. Yep. Good old budget cuts. Is Radis ever interesting here? I feel like Radis against Hondo though. So I'm kind of wondering. It was just like Mandos. Also, the Mandos don't pre-ton until Bo-Katan releases. So no, they would just like probably insta-kill Bo. That's probably a horrible idea. Malik seems significant here, right? You would think Malik gives us some amount of pressure for some team. I think like maybe Dash. But if Hondo gets into 10 stacks, Dash gets so much more annoyed. How much time do we have? Okay, Daylight is burning. I guess let's just try Radis. Radis against Hondo without Cassian sounds bad to me, though. Like, what direction do you even take that? Phase? Kind of? Not really? We're saving it for later, Kevin. How's it going, man? Yeah, I really don't know. Ideally, we want to kill Hondo before he gets to play the video game. Maybe we could try some route like this, but I feel like they're going to blow up Hondo. Or, it would blow up Mando so easily if we go this route, I feel like. No pre-taunt, Scoundrel pre-handcuff. We already know that Hondo times out JKR too. After would it be safe? I feel like it's increasingly unlikely that we see Jabba. We could just Marin. But Marin handcuff is equally scary. I feel like it's very unlikely that they could melt through Marin, but you do have tenacity down into stun. Yeah, what's up, Guilty? Yeah, I don't know. This kind of just sucks. He's gonna suck no matter what we put in. Let's try some shit. Oh, yeah, we have like no light cyclones. Man, this is. Yep. What do we want? Protection up. Trying to think, IG-12 actually had like a pretty decent move against Chewie, right? I got blind days. Like, it's not bad. I just, right? It's the scout to reset cron. They're just gonna mulch us, I feel like. Bo-Katan dead at minimum. See what happens after that. Great. Yes. Keep going. There's the handcuff. Mm-hmm. See, the cleanse is the middle, but I feel like we would want the blind and daze more, probably. Handcuffs should stop us from assisting, I believe, right? Yeah. And he immediately cleanses it. Bo-Katan being dead is not bad for us. Getting double handcuffed is. Counterattack regen is helping, but he can't counter right now. We're still just handcuffed. Yeah, we're just locked into oblivion. 15 or so turns and literally never got to use pause once. Like, what team here is okay with getting 2 characters permanently locked for, like, 15 turns? With also a Han set on top. I feel like the answer is very close to 0, aside from, like, SLK. We could try this, but... I don't think Baze really achieves all that much. Yep, they just fully focus down Radis. Because of course they do. We do land the stun at least. And then we missed the daze attempts. Oh, he's at 22 stacks already. We're just not going to be able to land a hit, huh? There we go. Good enough. Yep. More cheese. What do we want here? Gar SC is not modded for tenacity, so they can't do the 2 mana. No Radis for that, but we get a Mad Batch. Their GP is like 100 different. I hate it so much. The Tennessee protection up actually does technically give us a decent amount of bulk, but is it better than just having like 50% more defense to start? That I'm not so sure. Probably not. Kind of the same boat. Do we just start with Tech Grenade? Just to stabilize, probably. Lined up well. Alright, they're not gonna have the cleanse for a hot second, so we can just not get the expose. Cool, cool. She's already stunned, so I don't think there's any real point in cooldown increasing, although she does. She has the cleanse, but it requires Remnant lead, so I think we're just over here. Got the cooldown decrease. I think we just keep putting pressure. Back on. Scout is so close to dead. Please kill. Nope. Another cooldown reduction. Actually, that should have been on item potentially. If we got the kill on Stormtrooper, then it was worth going for it. But otherwise, we really needed to just delay that. Now we're just biding time. I mean, the buff immunity did stop it from really like screwing us there, but still. This is going to give them turn meter. So we get Stormtrooper dead. We take that trade. We lose our translation. I guess we build it back again. Oh, what's up, MJ? Okay, we got the AoE and they didn't have the debuff. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think the basic's really gonna do it. Like in theory it could, but it's just more likely to put her back in stealth. No, there is kill shot. Okay. Solid, solid. Ah, it's going. We definitely lost today. Qui-Gon lost to Saw with 100% health Kron. Cal needs a remod to be able to do the thing I want to do against DR plus. Savage is the team name. We might run out of teams. Where's Jabba? Probably on offense, I'd imagine. He's not on defense, so. Alright, I guess it's just Starkiller or SLK and Hope. Maul's not doing shit here. We could try Afro maybe, but I think same exact concern. There's no other team that I regret not having SLK for, right? Oh, right. Not sure what I'm doing against that. I don't think I want to feed him another possible counter. The Hux is about to go. Maybe. Yeah. He is taking less than 0 damage. We were healing him with basic throwdown. I mean, Hux is dead to SLK ult. We just go for a reverse sweep on the rest, I guess, but he is going to get a double AoE off. Like, it's just cooldown reset, go for another mastery drain. Yep, into, yep. SLK also dead. Lovely. Also, we don't even have that much ult charge, so, like, it's single ult plus hope, or go for basic, maybe. Basic should put us at 85% for 2 ults worth of value, I guess. Sure. I think the barrel toss is actually, like, pretty problematic for us here, potentially. EP dead. I don't have Starkiller was that tanky. Or there's not even any defense stats for the Ufu defense. It's just the level 6 is that dumb. Starkiller unique means everyone are immune to stun, as long as you have the condition satisfied. I think it's stun and Veer, or maybe only he's Veer, I think. Fucking, I don't know, dude. If I knew that Qui-Gon against Saul was pointless, then I would just use Qui-Gon here. Can't do B1 Django, kinda try, but like against this Kron, it's pretty much suicide. It might just be this. I believe I have Scoundrel Revive block. Yeah, do you use Reva SLK crew to bust through land? Normal SOK Crew Hawks has been winning for me just fine. Oh, it's the Raider. Level 9, not Warrior. Well, that'd be easier. Famous last words. Oh, they are at 11 stacks. I don't understand why Afra didn't. Oh, because hey, what's our bonus? I guess they both got bonus turns. I guess. Yeah, we really don't want to lose that. Okay, get me out of stun. Might as well. See, I don't know how stacked we are, because in theory, I should want to do the true damage on Warrior, but not even lethal. This is gonna be rough. I was really hoping we had Torture there. Thank God it blew all of its stacks there. If it didn't, I think we were about to get looped from the counterattacks, putting it over 10 momentum again. Lovely. Well, blind stops small counterattacks. Troopers, but I don't know if my Chron is good enough. I mean, it's not, right? I guess it's the Padme. We don't have light side 20% or anything, just... It's even worse giving them a Chron, it might not. The dynamic is gonna be the dynamic. Echo's kind of funny, but I'm pretty sure he's decommissioned for 3v3 mod set. And I really doubt he would have enough potency anyway. I'm still kind of concerned about like what happens if CLS gets reactive Terminator, goes before Ayla does, and then dispels Ayla. Like we lose one of our bombs effectively. That seems bad. Ayla first. Just kidding, I guess. Same concern for, but for Asila start getting Padme then. Doesn't happen. Oh, but the Reactor Terminator did put him over a DR. Oh, we don't have Shakti, so Gideon's never going to take another turn. Just kidding. Alright, Ayla, we need to clutch out of her mind right now. So far, she's doing it. Okay. We did not need Gideon's services, actually. I'm impressed. No real Jedi damage dealer. Did I ever commission Ezra? No. I mean, Kyle Katarn can try to cosplay, but it's fucking rough. Especially if we don't have light side buffs. There's no way this works. I feel like Night Sisters something that I've done that sounds correct. Dark side. Sure. I mean, technically, regional resist is bad here because we can't really resist much of anything they're putting out, but on that note, it's probably supposed to be this. They could still just stun one and kill the other. Daka doesn't actually change things that much, it just gives one layer of security. Ooh, one here. I don't really want the Docker or the Townsend revive, but I wouldn't mind the cleanse. We could dispel their stealth, but I don't know that it actually achieves terribly much. I could try this, but this feels exposed. Like, I don't know what point they overflow. Like now. They could just almost juggle us perfectly. I mean, this should be checkmate. And yet they are gaining Terminator. Why are they taking turns? What? Okay, now I'm not sure. That went against the Marin theory, where Marin last standing gets to repeat. Dude, I thought I had Marin figured out. Alright, I'm clipping that. They were like 50% turn meter or lower. We hit repeat basics. She was the last person standing. Why did she not chain turns? Did she get nerfed recently? Weird. I guess bounty hunters used to get used against Tuskens, right? Although, like, when Tusken Crime was active, the only thing that really got used back then was gas. But the stats were much crazier. Same deal here. Qui-Gon didn't get wasted on 100% health Kron. Qui-Gon usually would have went here. I mean, Malgus it with a cooldown pull, but that's not real. All guard. I mean, getting dazed would just kind of instantly ruin the point of anything, right? If it happened that the talent bounced back and forth, then you could get both dazes cleansed, technically, but that sounds highly optimistic. I mean, whatever. What does it matter, right? Wow, when Maul targets allies, will have insane value. Okay. That is why my Gar is Relic 8 and my ISC is Relic 9. Or, yeah, my ISC is Relic 9. Well, this is the thing, right? So now we have days here. Gar is way tankier now. This is the weird trade-off. Would appreciate if you got your ass kicked, not you. If anything, this counterattack is going to ruin us. Oh, wait, no, but he's not taunting. But this is going to put him into DI. Did Gar get knocked under off on the counter, and therefore ISC took over? Fucking A, man. A team capable of great violence. I don't have a ton to leverage that with. I could try. What do we want? 5% armor pen? Or 15? I guess this has stacking, so sure. Like, is that really the takeaway, I guess, for this set? Is to just try to grab a bunch of stacking because everything else is inconsequential anyway? And then... I'm not just dead, though. Ish. He's working on it. I guess it's a weird... It would have had to have parked on, like, handcuff Marin, park on zombie. Let Hondo unhandcuff himself so he doesn't flee from the cops. Sure. Technically viable. Just a little bit tragic. I mean, technically handcuff on zombie might have been fine. I don't think she was really taking a turn otherwise. Dash basic doesn't debuff. I don't know what we want here. JKR mark on Vandor, kind of? Vaguely? What are you? Basic reset. Oh, Bounty Hunter's probably right. Surely Scoundrel Basic won't blow me up a second time. That would be absurd. Interesting situation. I might just call Bosk. In the general interest of tempo. Oh my god, the dodge on... Invasion Mastery contract target. New hell discovered. We hit it that time. Alright, if we could just... Thank you. And then... As long as we don't knock him under full protection, we're technically chilling. And now I believe the technically correct play is just to audit. It's highly important. Okay, so what's left? We have the weird Bausch team. We don't have a whole lot of teams left on ours. I could try Chirpa. I don't think I have their crowd. I kinda wish I nuked L3 just to deal with less counterattacks. Would have wasted less time. Any ideas for cheap Padme counters? Keep losing GACs to her on defense. I guess it depends on the full comp and what you're dealing with, but generally speaking, there are usually pretty cheap ways to deal with her. I honestly haven't fought a Padme in ages just because it's so rare. Also, anything that can effectively just juggle dispels on her, like, she can never really put out threat because of it. I guess now do we JKR? JKR Kyle, is it time? Hell yeah. Rebel under 50% turn meter. The synergy. Go get him, champ. She has Omicron, but it didn't expose us. Why did it not expose us? Malik and so. Yeah, that was one of the classics. One protection better below full. Seven minutes. Well, we could get Chimera practice. Yeah. Last Kron, not gonna believe it. Not an Ewok Kron. Garcia versus JMK still a thing. No. It won 1 in 10 tries. It can get kills pretty consistently, but usually only just GK. Lovely. Yep. It's an Ewok team, alright. We have 2 squads. More or less. Alright, well, we grant the buffs. Look, we're gonna have crazy health and protection regen here. You don't even know. We're not just about to get outsped off the rip. Definitely. Actually faster. She's not dying, huh? 200% defense. Probably not. We're not even gonna get through a protection bar. Yeah, I'll pass. Like, I think Vader Malik can probably kill something. I'm no longer interested. Through 10 teams in the Malicos gave up. I mean, that's the biggest problem too, is if you're like me and you really extremely don't feel like pulling all of your teams, off meta struggles so much harder into good crons than normal. What am I doing? Did it not grab the Chimera lit up? Did I get distracted while talking? Interesting. I think it was supposed to basic over here. I feel like we still one-shot anyway. Is that true? It's pretty true, yeah. Actually didn't get stunned on Defender for once. Is that even legal? We're insane. Uh-huh. Wait, the basic... the basic command actually fired off before I got control of the character. I appreciated that. Well, it was relevant last time. Let's try this again. I mean, fundamentally, this is always just going to be... Okay, so they got the double tap, but because we didn't get breach on, their damage is massively lower, so, like... Oh, Outrider's done. That's different. I've seen Y-Wing die. I don't know if I've seen Outrider die. Wild. I would assume no Outer means not enough full charge. We technically do have a Dispel opportunity. Falcon doesn't assist. No Dispel. Interesting. So what's the RNG condition for Outriders to get killed on open? I don't know if I've ever seen him get close. Weird. I guess what? It was just Xanadu Blood, landed breach, double tap. It's a call on it with... Man, I don't know. Weird. Alright, even like that wasn't really a reinforcement diff. I guess like maybe a reinforcement would have let the fight last longer, then we could just stall for ults, but like... That Outrider was dying either way. New fear unlocked, I guess. Interesting. But I wasn't thinking that. I don't like it. Oh, also, so what were the takeaways? Gibbs moment? Yeah, but like we've played that matchup enough times now. If that was like a 5 or 10% occurrence, that would have happened to be like 5 or 10 times by now. So why hasn't it? There's no real finesse there. It's entirely assist RNG, debuff RNG on their ends. Anyway. Good game to Kratos. Can't say I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'm going to enjoy this entire season. It's going to be rough, man. Okay, so if you see a good Kron, we just have to chicken out. See, I would have thought that 100% health would have been okay because it wasn't defense necessarily, so I figured Anakin would have just popped them. Did not happen. Cal, I think I'm officially ready to hang it in the towel for next match and come back with week 2 modding and give it another shot. And honestly, if like depending on how hard I want to lean into this, there's a very decent chance I should just give him protection modding as well, because all of that health modding that he has is just feeding death mark damage. And like ideally, we would just not be getting death mark, but if we have to, it'd be better to be prepared for it, right? Same type of shit that we had with like Thrawn versus DR back in the day. Past that, Hondo plus Han Chewie. I think it'd be very annoying for most teams. Radis turned out to be okay this time, but it was still like the moment that Rebel damage reduction goes away, I don't think that counter is safe. So like maybe Radis is the way to go this season, but that could have also, I mean, this is a thing that easily could have just been like Radis bait or something for Reva in the rear. If it's not Radis, I'm not sure what it is, aside from just give your Han more speed than their Han has. Like, legitimately, speed set Han might be real this season. Didn't I do Radis versus that DR team in the past? You would remember better than I do. It sounds kind of nasty to me. Evan, Bastila, Savage, show latest season, turn off. Attacking Rad? There are no Radis versus DR wins on record. As far as I can tell, this should be ever. If I remove Savage, the wins start showing. Cleanups, no. Attacking GL, no. Yeah, like maybe it was a win against Malik or something. But Savage, like, there's no way.
A magnanimous dispensation.
Oh, Infidum. Thank you for the raid, man. We're probably just wrapping up here, but how was your stream, if you're here? Okay, so past that. I mean, the takeaway is not to use JCal, but I still don't really know what my go-to team to use would be. I feel like solving Padme against that would be pretty ideal, but it would still kind of leave a question mark of what we run against CLS. Padme with Ayla against CLS was like super impressive. I do think there was still like a very narrow margin to lose that. Right, all of it would take would be Ayla missing stun opportunities that let CLS get back into defense stance, and then suddenly he has like a chain of like 4 full turns against us where he's just not gonna get stunned. JKL Mace worked okay here. A little bit more expensive than I would like though. But who knows? It's worth keeping in mind. I don't know, man. It's kind of cool to see, like, ever since Saw got revealed and Sawcron got announced, I was kind of curious. I'm like, what happens if you just, like, R9 Saw and Godcron him, Godmod him? Like, Yoda did get instantly popped. It did do the thing. It did have enough scaling with enough investment for our Relegate Saw. But, yeah. Other than that, who knows? Maybe I'll just pull teams for next time. Maybe I'll just pull teams this season. I don't know, man. Because the problem is, like, you know, I know how I should try to mod Cal for next week, but that's a lock-in thing. I don't know what I could have done all that differently today for the teams that I had, aside from just, like, blow less of them and know, like, Godcron blocks Qui-Gon. Know that Radis is safe against double handcuff. I mean, it was annoying that they perma-locked pause, but it was actually kind of cool to see, like, IG-12 and Bo actually kind of managed themselves pretty decently under pressure. Like, as stupid as Scoundrel Basic Reset is, if that was just a normal fight, like, they would have been pretty okay, I think. Could always just go full defense mode. It's still... So think of it this way, right? If you're fighting Godcrons, those Godcrons will impact an equally powered or slightly better powered team a lot more than just, like, some GL undersizing or something, right? Like, this is the problem. We have had metas like this in the past, and they were equally miserable. Of like, the moment that posting a team on defense causes you to lose points, like, the entire math behind posting your defense just breaks. Because it's all of a sudden, like, you just can't post anything. Or you can, but it's because you're being stubborn. And we've had those seasons in the past, and I have been stubborn in the past, and it has caused me to lose a lot. Oh. I mean, yeah, they held 8 GLs, they held, what? Seer Malgus, Briva. I would imagine they did just okay. We got 2 ults down here. I'm like, honestly, those teams were kind of afterthoughts. I'm almost kind of disappointed that the teams that got effort. I mean, isn't that kind of the way sometimes? But the teams that got the most work got the most focus, I guess. They got a couple drops at the ends. Crash on the Wookiees, had to improvise after. Yeah, it was early. Like, I put a Rebel ability block, and apparently that tripped up Tom Port using Qui-Gon, so that was like... Oh, those Wookiees fuck, honestly. Like, I mean, whatever, I guess it's true, like, but like... That specifically requires, because if Chewbacca uses AoE and that causes the ability block, that should always go on Qui-Gon, right? So that meant that the first instance of targeting had to have been aimed at Anakin to place the ability block, and then they had to kill Qui-Gon. So yeah, no, I would have chalked that up to luck. That was kind of dumb. Yo, Kratos, since you're here. Well, I guess you used 8 GLs, so... I'm assuming, like, you didn't try bounty or anything. I assumed you just killed us with a GL. Like, I assume this is not worth it, and, like... Dude, I don't... Holding Maul, if it's gonna be a cheese meta, feels, like, infinitely less interesting. But if it's a cheese meta, he's just gonna die anyway, so, again, I don't really know what the math is. The math is pull Lord Vader, but I really don't want to. Just overkilled? Yeah, I figured. What about the Seer squad? Seer, Cal, Fulcrum? Talking same boat or anything there? I was a little bit worried that Cal adds some health. Good man. Yeah. I think I have to cut Cal. Better just go back to Malgus. Who the hell knows, man? Nothing adds up right now. It was safe against Gidmay last season. Cal's unique adds health. So that's a problem. If it's not that, then like maybe it's Vsauce? But like Vsauce without the Vsauce 9 is dog shit. Clown by damage reduction, Datacron, and Sealess Troopio 3 this round. I mean, that was always a very impressive Datacron in the past. I mean, if it's Gidmay, like, if Cal being present opens up Gidmay, then fuck. There's just like no other Ufus to draft them. Visa's garbage. We need crew. I think like pretty unavoidably. Scavenger is almost kind of funny, but not really, right? Maybe it's just forsake LV. Maybe that's the read. Put Malgus, like, there's no real replacement for Malgus. So just put him back where he belongs. Maybe just, like, really overcommit on Lord Vader. I don't know if Lord Vader could ever really try to add tech that would, like, punish overkill and open up Fennec, but people would just be so dead set on overkill that they would, like, some shit. Love their Inquisitors for Seer. Not really.
A magnanimous dispensation.
Oh, what's up, buddy? Kind of winding down here, but I was just streaming. Hope it was good if you're here. I guess the other possibility... Okay, maybe there is a way that we can adapt. Now, the biggest benefit that Krotos had is he posted like a bunch of weird shit I've never fought before, so I wasn't sure where to price it. Maybe that's more of a week one thing, but... I mean, like, people have their comfort zones of like how to off-meta GLs or overkill GLs. Maybe just a weird fuzzy bottom front is better off. I don't think it's gonna happen, but man, I really hope Bo's better on defense than recent offerings. Like, one good defense team isn't gonna really shake it up right now until, I guess until set 11 goes, but maybe until set 12 goes. All right, I think I'm getting out of here. The other thing I just realized is if Bo works the same as Maul, then weirdly enough, like, Taunt is not necessarily always going to be on pause. Like, if pause takes heavy damage, and all of a sudden, like, IG-12 and Grogu are taunting and counterattacking, which isn't, like, as crazy as ISC, but it's not bad. But then you get into weird territory if, like, Bo starts taunting, and that feels bad. Wild. I'll go to manage to pull a GAC1 on both against. Nice. I need to get to a point where I'm streaming on the other account. I just don't know. I'm probably going to do it on the in-between days. I just don't know what time slot. I was about to, yeah, we're backing it up here. Appreciate the raid. Yeah. We'll be back in a match up against Bananakin. We will see what happens then. To be continued. I mean, I enjoyed some of the fights today. But like, I don't know how to find the fun when it's just like D team versus D team. We'll see. I'll keep hunting for angles or something to, you know, like the Cal fight was cool. It sucks that it lost, but it was kind of predictable how it would lose, and we know how we can fix it. So like, that is fun. The rest, I could do without the rest. We'll see. To be continued. Anyway, enjoy y'all's weekends. Go relax, get some rest, have some fun, whatever you want to do. Can't you get me on your team? Honestly, if you're talking about the Danos tournament, like, I'm pretty sure I would actually be a pretty bad ad. Think of it this way. You want people who are like Kyber 2 or low Kyber 1 who have a lot of room to just keep winning if they put an effort. I have a pretty functionally built-in ceiling that like I'm not going to be able to like. Usually for me, 7 and 2 or 6 and 3 are where I'm going to park, because anything more than that, and we're talking like Datacron lands. Pay to play lands. I'm not really... Right, like, if you put me in a tournament with the ult right now, for where the ult is at, I could put up 9-0 pretty easily, I would say. If I, like, put my back into it. If it was, like, for a money prize, right? Not necessarily, like, yeah, you can game the system, of course, but that's just the general read on it. Okay. Yep, I'm out of here. Enjoy the weekends. I guess finish up Conquest if you haven't already, if you're like me. I really don't want to do it, but it must be done. Anyway. For real this time. Peace.